Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Zamboni Talk. Before we get started here today, I just wanted to thank you all so much for joining me. And if you haven't yet, all I ask is that you please like and subscribe. And we're going to keep pushing these videos out, and we're going to keep the journey going. And I'm going to keep trying to make an influence and hopefully help a couple people along the way. So, what we are talking about in today's episode is actually something that happened in my life just yesterday, and it was at my job that I'm at right here, which is obviously driving the Zamboni, doing maintenance work, my side job. And things seem to follow you, I found, when you attract certain things in life, they seem to follow you in a very unique way. And what do I mean by this? It's that at my main job, obviously as a first responder, I deal with a lot of people with serious mental health issues. A lot of individuals that are considering, suicide and a lot of other things that are potentially harmful to themselves or others around them. And it is my job a lot of times as the first one to respond to these distressed individuals is to talk to them and walk them off a ledge, so to speak, and let them know that there is others there for them. So what am I getting at with this is that at my job here, driving Zamboni, I actually came across somebody who was having a full-blown panic attack. They were sitting there. I noticed they were in quite a bit of distress, so I began to talk to them and figure out what was going on, and I realized that they were in a full-blown panic attack, and they needed someone immediately, or they were going to cause themselves or somebody else around them immediate harm. So as I began to look into their situation and figure out why these panic attacks were happening, because as much as doctors want to prescribe certain things and certain antidepressants and downers and benzodiazepines and everything of that nature, there is, I believe, the reason somebody's having severe anxiety or these panic attacks is for a good reason. So I started to talk to this fellow and to dig into his life. And what was going on here is he lived his whole life absolutely petrified, right? That's what he did. He was scared to spend any money, to go out, to take any risks. And now he's in his mid-30s, mid to late 30s. He has no attention from the opposite sex, females. He doesn't like his job. He's lacking purpose. And it has caused him to go over the edge. Right? And I did not give the advice that a normal psychiatrist, psychologist would give in this certain scenario, because I've been to a lot of clinical psychologists and psychiatrists, and for the most part, what they say is advice that is not beneficial to majority of people there, especially to men, because I've heard it all where they say that, you should talk about your feelings and open up, and you got to take this pill for this amount of time, and you should go for these follow-up appointments and follow this script and this plan that they're laying out for you. But in my opinion, and this, I've related this to my life personally as well, is that if you're in a place where, let's say, you're not getting any female attention, you don't like your job, you don't like the way you look, you're not in shape, you don't have a lot going on in your life, you're not passionate, you're not excited to wake up every day, you have no goal to go towards, what you should be impressed. What you should be depressed, I should say, right? Like, what are you going for? Because that is your body telling you that what you're doing in your life in this particular moment is not working, right? You are not, you're not taking the risks to be able to get to where you want to go because you're petrified to do so. And I knew this in this guy just by talking to him for 5 minutes. I could tell that he was so in his comfort zone that it has ruined his whole life. And what he was telling me, he actually had a substantial amount of money saved. And he had, in a lot of people's eyes, a good job with good prospects. But he was just so scared and so entrenched into his comfort zone that he could not even begin to get his life into a better place. And that's what I told him. And I said, what you're telling me right now about what's going on in your life, you should feel depressed. Right? And nobody's going to tell you this. A psychologist is not going to tell you that. Clinical psychologist is not going to tell you that you should be going to the gym, leveling up. You should focus on making more money, get your social skills up, read some books, go out, experience other cultures, become an interesting person. And then see who you attract in your life, get a good network around, and then see if you're still depressed. I guarantee that if you do all those things to the best of your ability, your life will not be in a worse place. I'll tell you that much. Maybe does it solve all your problems? Maybe not. But I can guarantee that your life will not be in a worse place than where you are at the current moment. Okay? So that's what I wanted to get across in this video, is that if you're feeling depressed about where you are in your current life and you're not where you want to be because you haven't put in the work or taken the risk to get there, then you shouldn't be reaching for a pharmaceutical drug to help your depression, your clinical depression. That's not what you need to go for. What you need to go for is to make a life that is so exciting that you don't have time or the ability to be depressed, right? That is what you have to go for. That is what you should strive for. So I hope that I got through to this individual. I don't think I did, because at the end he was still saying many things that were similar to the beginning of the conversation. His mindset, I could tell, didn't really shift very much. So that was unfortunate. But at the end of the day, you really do what you can do, right? That's all you can do in that situation, is for me to really lend a helping hand and to do everything I can. And that's what this channel is all about as well. It's just do what I can and share my experiences, because I know that in my life, things like this keep popping up because I keep exposing myself to them. I keep putting myself in those situations that I'm going to be in that are going to allow me to reach these certain individuals that are in trouble. So that's what I wanted to get at, and I really hope that this person and anybody else that's going through that if you're in a depressed state, then maybe your body is telling you something that needs to change. And that is the mindset shift that I don't hear anybody talking about. I don't hear it from the media. I don't hear from anybody I talk to out in the world because it's painful for people to hear that what you're going through is all in your hands, that you can change your life and your outcomes from the work that you put in and the actions that you take each and every day. But unfortunately, a lot of people do not want to accept that in the world. And they like to blame external factors and use external forms of medicine and other avenues to be able to go there, right? And that is not what I want the followers on this channel to do and anybody else in the world. I want you to take ownership for what you have going on in your life, accept what's going on in your brain, lean into the suffering, and realize that your brain is telling you, it's giving you signals, and accept them. And make your life better in every possible way. And that is the only way. So, hope you enjoyed the episode. Catch you.